welcome Carey Hart!
Good to see you.
Carey, how you doing, man? What's going on? Please, right there, minutes. Yeah, so did you sell any of those to the ladies, those size 7.5 and 8s?
We had to fire sell them. Just right out the back door, cash only. You know, it's life after motocross. What are you going to do?
Well, you're well known for your motocross champion, but then you're like semi-retired. That means you don't know when to give it up.
Yes, exactly.
Due to injury, do you miss motocross?
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, that's what keeps me going. I mean, I'm a dirt bike rider, whether I own a business or I'm 60 years old. I'm still basically a dirt bike rider. And, you know, that's what keeps me sane, getting out on my bike, riding. I mean, I'm not really driven towards competing anymore, but just being out there is what makes me normal.
Oh. Now, you're one of the first guys, you are the first guy to do the backflip on a motocross bike, and we were talking backstage. That's way before they had sponge pits and everything, and you had the guts to try it. You've broken over 30 bones in your body, you know, and your buddy Mike Metzger just did the backflip over the Caesar fountains. Would you ever try something like that?
No. My body's a little too beat up.
You're 30 years old.
I know. I've actually broke 56 bones now. That's where I'm at.
56?
Yeah. I just got back off a pretty
You act like that's you got more bones you want to break.
Well,
but you look 30, a lot better than Evel Knievel, that's
seriously,
for sure.
My luck, I roll out of bed, break a wrist, you know. So I'm sure it's still counting. But, yeah, you know, it was pretty gnarly back in those days because back then when I first did the first flip back in 2000, 2001, there was no foam pits. I learned the basics on a bicycle, and I was young and dumb, and I'd bounced, and I went for it. And I actually broke my back when I did it the first time. So.
Yo, we got exclusive video on your first injury. You got to check this out, everyone. Look at this. This is nasty.
It's not good.
No. Look how nasty this is.
Oh!
Yeah. That is brutal.
And then the bike hit you. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, see, that was when I was an amateur. I wasn't pro yet.
What is the worst? Is the broken back the worst one? Please tell me that's the worst one.
Oh, no. That one actually wasn't bad. It was just a compressed fracture.
Oh, yeah, but, that's not that bad.
No.
But actually, probably my worst one, I've had two bad ones. I had one when I was around 15, 16. I jumped into a tractor. The tractor was working on the track, and blindside came over into it. Both femurs, my tib fib, and my wrist. And then probably the most devastating one was this last one, which I was on. Tony Hawk has a tour called the Boom Boom Huck Jam Tour.
Yeah, right.
And there's just a miscalculation, and I was getting ready to take off for the jump, and a skater popped out in front of me. So I carved out, threw my bike, and I flew into the scaffolding, and both legs again and both arms, and almost killed me.
Little help from air traffic control next time, please?
Yeah.
But you saved the other guy.
Yeah, because it would have been tragic if I would have committed. No, so.
It was tragic. Wow. When you see a squirrel, run over it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to your big-time business in Vegas. The name of the tattoo shop is?
Hart and Huntington Tattoo.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And, of course, now we know it from the show Inked. A lot of big-name celebs and athletes come in there. Some of the biggest are?
We had, is it LeBron?
Well, yeah.
Oh, the biggest is right here. I mean, you know, he got slung up. He's their opening night. But, yeah, we did LeBron James. We've done, Bibby's been in there. Tons of action sports guys, Tony Hawk, Ryan Nyquist, Dave Mara. We've had a good flow of actually Lonnie Paxton from the Patriots.
But see, I'm the only cool one because I came in there with Dennis Rodman, and I got tattoos of my daughter. We got video of that, right? I got tattoos of my daughter that night. It was a really sexy night.
Yeah.
Yeah, while we're watching this, what happened that night? You got sick, huh?
Yeah, I got a 24-hour flu, and it was supposed to be a really cool night. I heard about it.
It was amazing.
No, I got tattoos before, but, man, I got sick, and thanks. I appreciate that.
It was a great party.
Not at your place.
Yeah.
I got sick.
Yeah, there you go. No, it was a great party.
And this is not your first thing in reality TV. You did a thing where you were on Surreal Life with Jose Canseco. Now, you know, everybody's got a perception of Jose. What was it like when you went in, and then after you finished the taping, what were your views of Jose Canseco?
Well, for me, leading up to that show, like, I didn't know much of Jose and all the controversy going around him. I knew him as an ex-baseball player, and that was kind of that. And living in the house with him, honestly, he was a pretty amazing guy. I mean, in a sense where really cool, very well-spoken. He was fun to hang out with. He's
That's a very nice guy.
You know, one guy I had something in common with in the house. And they even had some situations set up where, for instance, they had a book signing, and they had about 200 people come through the house, and people were saying some nasty, nasty stuff to him. I mean, just mean stuff, and he just rose above it and was just very cool about it, where I probably would have had a broken hand and a lawsuit coming. So, you know.
I mean, what's another broken bone at that
Exactly,
point?
yeah.
Really.
It's just a lawsuit you got to watch out for.
But you definitely moved up the food chain in terms of who you live with, because you went from Jose Canseco to
That would be your wife.
Yeah.
Pop star Pink. Very nice.
Yeah.
I love Pink.
We're working on the living part.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's tough when everybody's
We're working
on
on
tour
that.
and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
she's on tour.
Tell us how you got engaged, because it's kind of a cool story.
Last summer, I was, after I actually started getting back to normal, I did a motocross race up in Mammoth Mountain, and it was a long day. I was beat. My endurance was crap. And she's like, yeah, I want to write you messages on your pit board, because you have a pit area where the mechanic can give you messages, what place you're in, all that good stuff. So she's all, listen, I'm going to start writing some questions. Just shake your head and answer yes or no. You know, just try to answer them as best you can. And I'm thinking, you know, what do you want for dinner? What's your favorite color? You know, just basic, you know, funny stuff. And I come around the third lap, and she's got the sign out there, and it says, will you marry me? And I
crashed and broke your back.
Yeah.
My pelvic bone, that went out the window.
No, I actually had to say yes in the hospital bed. No, I just passed a guy, and they were coming up the uphill on the flat section where she was at, and I cut over on him, almost put him into the mechanics area and took out a crowd of people. And then I just kind of looked at her. I was like, you serious? She's like, yeah. And I said yes. And she's like, but then she tells me, she's all, I don't marry losers, so get back out there and finish the race. So
good job. Hey, Carey, we appreciate you stopping by for Pit Stop here on Best Damn.
Definitely.
Check out the second season of Ink. Premieres May 31st on A&E. Carey Hart, everybody.
thank you.
Thank you.